Hello. I hope I find you well and everything is going well for you and you are creative. I will want to speak to you about, as you can see in the title of the video, what's photography and reflect on that. I might ramble a little or I might not fully make sense and points, but I hope that you will find something interesting or I will motivate you to explore further. I make my notes and I did a little online research and some other things. Let's start just by definition, what is photography? It is capturing light to create images. It is related, the origin of the word is like photography comes from Greek words photos, light, and graph, drawing or writing. But it's like, this is what I find out. But if you look like, for light is more phos in Greek. I'm Greek. And grapho, yeah, is like I'm writing something. So it's like writing by light or, yeah. But yes, I don't know what to say. I mean, it's in general this question I try to answer today is what's photography, or also what is photograph. I think we all know what's photography or what's a photograph, or we understand what it is, but I don't think it's so easy to reply. It's not an easy question. It is something so familiar yet so complex and tricky to understand. And also, photography is something everybody can do. Everybody can take a photo, but and everybody can take a great photo. Or but the problem is that not everybody can create a series of great photos or create an interesting body of work, and that's why we have like some important photographers. And also, I think that not all the people understand the value of the photograph and maybe and create it consciously. I mean, there's a difference. I mean, two people can take exactly the same photo, but for the viewer it can be the same. But for some other people, it's important why the person did that. So it totally changes if you know what you're doing or you just randomly took the photo. And also, photography is supposed to tell the truth, or that's how it started. But then now with Photoshop and everything, or photo manipulation, uh, it's not for sure that it tells the truth. And now with the use the AI tools, we are not sure if it's something created by a camera or it's created by an AI tool. For me, I think is also photography is subtract from it's a subtractive way of creation, because if we simply take a photo, we remove information, we make the 3D world around us, which is full of mess and multiple information, we make it a 2D dimension, and we even blur things intentionally to so not to fully have all the information. It's on, even on the frame on the eyes. We just like concentrate on specific things, and also photography is something that's changing, is evolving, and imagine the very first time when somebody took a photo, how it changed, and what we can do today. And also, it's not only the subject, but it's also like the easiness of doing it. Imagine that the first people carrying a big camera, which you have to take to like in a specific labs, wait for sometimes run some chemicals, and not everybody can do it. Only experts could have done it. The cost, having access to these chemicals, and imagine now that more or less a kid can take a photo and sorry, and the photo can be like in the other side of the world, like in a moment. Imagine the photojournalism of the time when something was happening, for example, in the US. How long it take for the person to take the photo, develop the photo, fly with how? Oh no, I think they have some ways of communicating, some tools. But imagine how long it take this to happen, or how complicated it was. And now we can attach it to social media, like to an email or social media, send it, or even broadcasting live. And I think this change this changes also the way we accept or consume photography. And I think there is a difference between like what's photography for social media and what's photography like in a deeper manner. And if we look like in social media, it's more like instant gratification. Often the aim is to capturing moments quickly to share instantly with friends, family, or followers. Uh, there are a lot of in social media. There is a following of aesthetics and trends, forces on visually appealing images that follow current trends to attract like, comments, and shares. And I think this doesn't have anything to do with the photography that comes from inside you. Also, like photography in social media can be a self expression, allow individuals to express themselves and their lifestyle through curated images, but we don't know how this reflects in their real life, or maybe there is nothing artistic there and it's like we do things just for the likes. And engagement and interaction use images to boost engagement, interaction, and build an online presence. So the purpose of the photo is the online presence, not to create the photo. And also it's used to capture daily life, travels, events, and personal milestones, acting as a visual diary. I mean, which is again photography. In that case, is also is like it's a mean. It's not the purpose, if that makes sense. And when we go to different value of photography, the artistic expressions go beyond aesthetics to convey deeper emotions, thoughts, and perspectives. Each photograph can be a piece of art, telling a story or evoking feelings. That's totally different from the social media. There is like beyond before the social media, we can have like photographers who used, for example, a self portraiture. Sorry for the noise. Self portraiture to express their like feelings, but that was like then the photography it was used as a tool to express, not the other way. If it happens as it happened in social media, I don't know if that makes sense. But what I want to say is like there's a difference between a photographer takes a self-portraits to communicate their depression or their feelings, and there is a difference between take the photo to sell a product or to share an experience, like in the influencers. I mean, there's a difference between a self-portrait photographer and an influencer, and even the term selfie. I don't think it's it's not the same as portrait of the self, if that makes sense. Selfie is like created because of the social media as a term, and even if the bibliography before the so popularity of Instagram, it was not so big about self-portraiture. It was hard to find a book about self-portraiture in photography. And also, like photography can be used as historical documentation. It acts as a historical record, capturing significant events, cultures, and moments that shape society and human experience. And in journalism and advocacy, photojournalism plays a crucial role in informing the public and shedding light on important issues, often sparking social change. And I mean, I created another video and I will connect it here. Is like the effect of photography in the USA elections, in my opinions, and it's like ignore political like opinions. Trump was able to create quite iconic images in his campaign, and I think there the photography has an effect on expressing himself and people interacting about him. Sorry, and like resharing this, his reaction like after they tried to kill him, it was quite a powerful one, and I speak more in the other video. Photography can be used for storytelling, powerful meanings medium for storytelling, enabling photographers to narrate complex stories without words, connecting with viewers on personal level, and it serves as a powerful form of visual communication, enabling us to see the world through someone else's eyes. And like yeah, it's like more storytelling, but I will speak more about that. But if you look like sometimes photography can use like to change communities or to see like it's some capturing like more from the point of photojournalism again to important events that can be shared. And I know not part it's more powerful the video, but still we can refer in books and it takes us to specific events that happened and we couldn't be I don't know the English word again, we couldn't like observe ourselves what happened there. There's a better Greek word, but I can't think of the English word. Also, photography has an emotional impact, has the ability to evoke strong emotions, to provoke thought, making viewers reflect on the subject matter and their own experiences. Again, like a photo, like I was like a lady, a girl that died because a car killed her in my hometown, and they had some photos and some of her. Or even when I see the photos of her in the news, it makes me feel sad. And it's a difference between like hearing somebody speaking about this event and different thinking, seeing her how beautiful she was before somebody killed her. Another thing is a cultural significance helps preserve cultural heritage and traditions, providing a tangible link to history and identity. And also, it documents the cultural practices and traditions. Yeah, to be helpful for future generations. And it's like it's interesting to see photos of events that happened like 50 years ago, the costumes they're wearing, and also like when we see like there are some even in most places annual events that happen, and you can have a reference of what happened. Or if you take a photo here in the UK of a traditional like event, then you can see the difference and communicates how different societies like have different characteristics. And even in the same town, if you go to in Greece, the traditional clothing from different areas are different, and the best way of reflecting and studying that is history. But history through photography, it's better to communicate. You cannot describe a traditional cloth the same way as you see it. Also, photography is good for personal growth and reflection, encourages photographers to see the world from different perspectives, fostering personal growth and self-awareness. Yes, I think for me, because I will not be able to travel in many countries, see photos from different places I will never visit make me grow as a person. And for example, now in the news we can see uh, in the conflict of Palestine and Israel, we see how different events happen in different places, and don't want to take any side, but you can see how different people from different sides react in different locations, and there are similar patterns in different countries. Photography allows you to capture moments in time, preserving memories and emotions that can be revisited later. I mean, imagine for I don't have kids myself, but imagine for parents, the banal moments of today can be really important for their kids in the future to see how they were kids, or important milestones in their lives like first birthdays or graduations and all these things. The problem with the digital photography, it's just stored in a USB or a driver. Whereas in the past, the actual printed image has a different value. You have like the family albums, and which is maybe dying today, or it can be reprinted as photo books, but again, it's different. Even touching the thing is it has different values, like a small photos instead of a book. Social change can be a tool for advocacy and raising awareness about social issues, influencing public opinion and inspiring change. I think some they call it photo voice, where like groups of people use photography to for change, and you can see that in different communities or projects. Even people in prisons, they use photography as a tool to understand their own lives or communicate things. Otherwise, it will be hard for them. And if you go like in a summary, for social media, photography is often about capturing and sharing beautiful, fun, or trendy moments to engage with an audience. And in deeper terms, photography is a profound art form that documents history, tells stories, evoke emotions, and can drive social change. They are both important. They both the value and purpose. And while social media captures the essence of modern day interactions and personal expression, the deeper value of photography lies in the ability to immortalize moments, convey powerful images, and connect us to the broader human experience. And I think it's pretty possible that I failed to answer the question I started in my video. But maybe it's like photography is the process of using an image taking device to capture an image and store it and potentially share it. This is a really dry definition. Like we have a camera, we take a photo and we store it, and that's can be photography. But I think for me there is something deeper on that than that. For me, photography is not this dry definition, but it is like I'm being outside most of the time, and I see something that it calls me to photograph it, and that's why I'm photographing. It's most of the time it's not planned, or I know I'm looking for something, but I don't know what is that. And even this sounds simple. It's an excuse for me to leave my house and go walk outside, and it's a kind of therapeutic for my anxiety, which I make a video for that and I can link it to you also somewhere. And also I feel like photography saved me from many times because it cured my anxiety, and not cure, it helps me to cure or cope with my anxiety. And sometimes in my darkest moments, photography was there to help me when there was nobody. And the purpose of this video is like for me to make you think for yourself what's photography and how most people treat photography today is not so deep. It's more in a superficial, which I'm not judging, but I think it's a fact. Social media, there are much more people better to speak than me, but it has sometimes a bad effect on your mental health, which photography I think should have a good effect. And I also want to make this video, and I am calling it like photography basics or something like that, because I think it's years that I'm studying photography, and both as an undergraduate degree, as I said to you in other videos, but also I keep wanting to learn things. And I think there are stages of our lives when we learn, and then there are stages of lives when we want to pass our knowledge. And maybe that's what I will try to do with this kind of series. And I will start with this and maybe then speak with different types of cameras or something like that. And maybe it's not for everybody, these videos, but it helps also me not only to communicate with you, but also for me to learn and understand further photography. And although I think I did my first course like in 2006 or something like that, 7, which is, I don't know, 18 years or I don't know at the moment, ago. And I did like a bachelor, and I did like another course about therapeutic photography. And I feel like I don't know nothing about photography. And as you say, it's something very simple. Everybody can understand. Or no, everybody, when we tell them photography, they can say, yeah, it's photography. It's like a hobby or whatever. But as easy as it is to hear about it, I don't think it's easy to understand what is it. And I still know that I have a lot of things to learn, and that's interesting. And I hope if you're still here, I just thank you, and I hope to see you around more. And we'll speak more about what's photography. No, not only, sorry, about different aspects, like different type of cameras, or I don't know, different methods, or some technical thing. I think that is obvious for me, but maybe it's not for everybody. Thanks, and I'm stopping now. Bye.